speech.
Well, I was able to earn a trip to Tuscany from my company. If you do a lot of different things for your clients and they keep track, they will reward you. So they sent my wife and I, along with some others from our company, to Florence for a vacation. Now, this is exciting. I have been out of the country for 20-something years, and this is just a marvelous time to be able to take your wife. And let me tell you, if you get a chance to go to Florence, which is located in a hill country near the top of the boot of Italy, in the middle of the Apennine Mountains. Well, if you get a chance, you need to do it. Save up, do what you got to do. This is one of the most fantastic places I've ever been to. I mean, it beats the heck out of Andalusia and Dover. It's a town of about 400,000, but it's a town that really came into being in the 14th and 15th centuries after the Black Plague. It wiped a bunch of people out. They found this city-state, found out a way to keep colors in your dyes in your clothes from washing out. They added albumin or some kind of aluminum oxide or whatever to the dyes, and they became fabulously rich because that's the only place you could get your clothes that wouldn't mess up. So that was their source of wealth. And along came a guy named Medici, Cosmo Medici, of the Medici families. He consolidated power throughout the region and was like a Rockefeller. I mean, he's fabulously wealthy. So in Florence, what he did was build huge museums and got art from all over the Roman Empire. I'm talking about the 2nd and 1st century BC art. And he had commissioned paintings, all that from guys like Leonardo da Vinci, which is Leonardo from the town of Vinci, which is very close by. Michelangelo, Bernini, all of these people, they have these works of art throughout. Tons of museums there. We spent hours in museums looking at art and listening to tour guides talk about the art. You walk into these buildings and they're all very, very high, 20 or 30-foot ceilings with archway architecture. The ceilings are all painted. They're all painted in frescoes or in scenes from either victorious battles or scenes from Greek and Roman mythology or from the Bible. I mean, if you go to one of these museums, you're going to see a lot of baby Jesus and Mother Mary and a lot of dying Jesus on the cross. I mean, it was the Renaissance. Well, we spent hours doing that. Then went to the palace that the Medicis had built for themselves. Same thing. They had a great hall. Now the hall was so tall, it dwarfed these paintings. I stepped off some of the paintings. 45 feet long by 25 feet high. Now that's bigger than a lot of swimming pools. And it was there, about 3 of those paintings in the hall on either side of the wall where people would meet, and sculpture all along, one by Michelangelo. Then a copy of one of Michelangelo's David. Of course, the original David is in there. But just outside the street, there's a copy of David. There's statues from gardens they had found in ancient Rome that happened to be in the Medici's garden in Italy, whatever. But they brought them over, and they're all over town. It's such a famous place and so beautiful. The architecture is, you've seen the Tuscan architecture. Well, it's all over town. The streets are very small, very thin. The roads are brick paved. And who paved them? Well, the guys that founded the town around 50 BC, the Romans. So these roads, of course, they're very straight. Romans built very straight roads. And they have gutters and all that. It was just marvelous. You're walking on the roads have been there for 2,000 years. And then we went to the Ponte Vecchio. So the Ponte Vecchio, Ponte means bridge. Ponte Vecchio is a bridge over the Arno River. And it was, the Germans didn't blow it up. They weren't going to tear up the town when they retreated. There was an agreement. Even Hitler wrote the agreement. We're not going to tear up this town. It's too beautiful. But there are like little shops all along the side hanging out that you can see. And those shops used to be butcher shops in the 14th century because they cut their cows up. And what do you do when you do with the bones? You just throw them in the river. Because you live like pigs. But that's the way they lived. So you wonder, why they had the plague? Well, they had a lot of rats because they did stuff like that. Today, that's jewelry shops and those kind of things. The butchers aren't there anymore. Although that was very interesting to know. So when we're done with the day, we walk for miles. You know, you got to walk all over town. It's a very walkable town. And you go to the museums, you walk around all these people, all the sidewalks are very narrow too, along with the streets, and the uneven pavement, so your knees hurt, bottoms of your feet hurt, your back hurts. You know, you're just in pain, but it's a good pain. It's a good pain because you've seen so much. Then it's time to go eat. And the food is, of course, fresh from the area. We had oxtail. Well, it doesn't sound very delicious with just saying oxtail, but it was cooked for hours and hours. You know, it just falls off the bone. It was great to eat. The wine they served was the local wine. Just went down real smooth. Then at the end of the meal, we had this stuff called grappa. Oh. Now, if you're not familiar with grappa, you may be familiar with moonshine. That's what this stuff is. They bring you out a little bottle of this, in the house. It was awful. So our wives wouldn't drink it. So we had. Wow. But still woke in the morning feeling good, ready to do it again. So we did and we did and we did, and finally, totally exhausted, it's time to go. Well, I'll back up for a second, just to give you a flavor of what's about to come. We go to stand in line to the Uffizi Museum, fantastic museum. We stand in line. There's no railing or anything. It's just a mass of people waiting to get in the door. We stand there. 30 minutes goes by. We've moved about this far. Then, all of a sudden, these school children come up with the teacher right by our side, and they kind of do a sideways body slam into the line. Now there's an extra 40 people. We wait another 30 minutes. We haven't moved. Nothing's happening. I'm done. Well, forget it. We walk around. We see another small little line, 4 people. I go up there. That's the line to get your reservation to come back some other time. Good for me. 10 o'clock the next day. Let's do that. Because it's just a jam. They have no sense of organization at all. I get an appointment for 10 o'clock the next day. We come back. We're late. We're running late. It's 11. No problem. Because the Italians told me an appointment in Italy is just a suggestion. So now it's time to go. We hate going, you hate going back to the real world when we've had a wonderful time. But we go to the airport in Florence. We're going to take KLM, Delta to Amsterdam, then on to Atlanta. Get ready to get on the plane. Get ready to get on the bus that takes you to your plane that pulls up on the tarmac. Now, some of y'all are too young to remember this, but in America we used to do that when Robert F. Kennedy was president. All right? Welcome to the 60s. You're in modern Italy. We take a bus to our plane. Whoop, can't get on the bus because no plane, because the plane's in Bologna. The wind. There ain't no wind out here. Whatever the reason, the plane's in Bologna. Hour-and-a-half bus ride, no problem. But you got to get on the bus because we have to go pick up your luggage now. Remember, they can't put it on the plane. There's no plane. So we all pile on the bus. It takes about 20 minutes. The bus rides a maximum of 40 yards. Stops. There's the luggage. We could have walked. Unbelievable. So we get our luggage. Which luggage carousel does it come out on? Nobody knows. Somebody just sees their luggage. We go grab it. Where do we go? Nobody knows. Because it's Italy. You just got to figure it out. Finally, somebody from my group said, I've done this show before. Come on this way. We follow them. We go to the right place to get on the bus to go to Bologna. So we get packed up on the bus. The driver got to take smoke break. Wait for the smoke break. Then we drive the hour and a half, beautiful countryside, you know, you see, I saw an aqueduct, and they have a lot of tunnels in it. Man, they don't go around it, they go right through the hill. Boom. We get to Bologna, where do we go? Fortunately, my company had sent somebody there that said, follow me. So we go to baggage, the check-in. Everybody's got to check in and go through customs, check your luggage in. So a whole mass of people. And we're all just standing there. These people from China are behind me. They've got their luggage, and they think it's going to move faster. They just damn right. I finally turned around and said, whoa, you're going to get there. Hang on. A lot of language miscommunication. So, how many, if you have 207 people waiting in line, how many check-in reservations should you have? They have one. The lady says they are waiting to organize. I said, well, it's been an hour and a half drive. Nobody got on the phone and said, begin organizing now. So after another hour or so, hour and a half, we got our luggage in because they brought more people in. They organized. We finally got on our flight. Of course, we missed our flight, so we had to stay in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. Well, it was just an airport. You can't go anywhere, you know, really to go see Amsterdam. But I'm tired. We're walking to the special place to get our new tickets and our hotel room. You know, they're going to help us out. But we walk right into baggage claim, which means you've left the airport. You're not getting back in. Fortunately, all the Dutch speak English, beautiful English. The guys with the submachine guns tell me, I'm looking right at the door and I say, hey, I just went through the door, made a mistake, I gotta go back. No. You know, 9. Over there. I had to leave the airport, come back in, and go through baggage, you know, go through check-in. Well, I don't have a ticket. Man, it was a mess. But finally, you know, they're organized. Oh, yeah, this is where you need to go. This is what you got to do. Go to the hotel. Everything's wonderful. I had to get an appointment to get the bus back to the airport to be on time. The bus leaves at 8. We showed up at 7:58. Only my clock was 3 minutes slower than their clock. 8:01, they're gone. You're not there at 8 minutes and 1 second. These are Dutch, you know, they're like German. Go. They're not waiting. It's time, you know, timetable. So we had to go across the street and find the city bus, get on the city bus. We finally got there. We're flying on back, beautiful weather. This stuff with the Malaysia Airlines had just happened. We're flying home. You see they have your plane track across the continent. It has a little airplane. You can follow the airplane for 9 hours. My knees are killing me, cramped up. I'm in the middle row. It's around Boston. The plane turns around. It's heading back north. And I got the guy next to me, hey man, check that out. I'm looking, you know, who's suspicious? And I didn't hear any rumble, I didn't feel any, you know, plane doing this, but we're turning around, bud. And I'm thinking, this ain't good. Because I'm in the middle of a movie, and if this plane goes down, I'm going to miss the movie. Well, he gets a little concerned, you know, so we started looking, oh, we've dropped in altitude or anything, and nothing happened, but that plane went in a loop. They never got on the phone and said what was going on or anything. So it was a little disconcerting, you know, with current events when your plane's going the wrong way. But we did finally get home. But I tell you what, buses, you got to get on a bus in the Atlanta International Airport. Take your luggage, get on a bus, go all the way around the airport to get your bus to go to your hotel. So when you're going to travel, give yourself lots of time. Lots of time. One, particularly if you're in a country that is disorganized. And two, if you're going through Atlanta, because it just takes a long time to do anything in a huge airport. But we had a wonderful time. I would recommend it. Put it on your list of places to go. Spend 3, 4, 5, 6 days. You're not going to be enough. I'd go back in a heartbeat. I hadn't seen it all. It's a wonderful place. And that's my story. That's why I missed two times, because I had to take an extra Monday just to get home. Thank you.
Very good impromptu speech.